Just released Microsoft Aspire 13 version, which have many new features, and we will explain everything each one by one. So before I start, I'm especially recommend if you first time visit my channel, go to my channel, which is real world example, and you can learn many things over here: front end, back end, authentication, authorization, full stack developer, game development, and so on. So yeah, I think that pretty much good. Now moving to explain all that new feature in .NET Aspire 13.
All right, welcome back. Today we're diving into a tool that just made a huge change. It dropped its most important prefix. That's right, Aspire is no longer just about .NET. With this latest release, it's transforming into a real polyglot powerhouse for pretty much any cloud-native developer. So let's break down what that really means for you.
So, the very first thing you'll notice, and honestly, the most important change, is the name. They've dropped the .NET. And look, this isn't just some cosmetic rebranding, okay? It's a total declaration of intent. Aspire is officially breaking out of its old boundaries. It's becoming a true polyglot platform, built from the ground up to handle modern apps no matter what language you're writing them in.
Okay, so what does polyglot platform even mean in this context? Well, let's unpack that. With Aspire 13, it means every single language gets a VIP pass. They're all first-class citizens. Just think about it for a second. You've got a single unified workflow where your .NET backend, your Python data scripts, and your JavaScript frontend, they all get built, debugged, and deployed together, seamlessly. That's not a dream anymore. That's the new reality with Aspire.
And the proof is in the pudding, right? The first piece of evidence for this whole new identity is the incredibly deep native integration for Python and JavaScript. And I want to be super clear here. This is not just about, kicking off some external process. No. Aspire now understands these languages at a fundamental level. And that's what radically simplifies how you're going to build and deploy your cloud-native apps. I mean, this release comes packed with a whole new set of superpowers. So if you're a Python dev, you're getting full-blown support for scripts, modules, even UV-Corn apps with automatic package management. It just figures it out. Then for the JavaScript world, there's this awesome unified model for NPM, Yarn, and PMPM, plus amazing integration with Vite. But the real game changer, the thing that applies to everyone, is this: native multi-language debugging right in VS Code and automatic production-ready Docker file generation for absolutely everything. That's huge. And this whole polyglot thing, it goes way deeper than just running your code. It goes all the way down to your infrastructure. So you define a resource, let's say a Postgres database, just once, and then Aspire automatically figures out how to talk to it from all your different services. Your .NET app gets the right connection string, your Python app gets a URI, your Java service gets its JDBC string. You don't have to manually configure any of it. It just works. It's magic.
You know what else is a massive headache in local development? SSL certificates. We've all been there. Well, Aspire 13 just completely eliminates that pain. It now automatically handles and trusts your development certs across all of your services. It doesn't matter if it's .NET, Python, Node, or even running inside a container. You get secure, local HTTPS communication working right out of the box, zero manual setup, problem solved.
So having all this polyglot power is amazing, but it's even better when it's paired with a radically smarter workflow. And that's exactly what Aspire 13 does. It's really designed to just get out of your way, to slash all that boilerplate code so you can spend your time on what actually matters, which is, building your app.
And where do you start? It all kicks off with one simple command: Aspire init. Seriously, this thing is like your new secret weapon. It's an interactive tool that asks you a few simple questions, and boom, Aspire scaffolds your entire solution, the app host, the projects, the whole shebang. You are literally ready to start coding in seconds, not spending hours on setup.
And this whole philosophy of simplicity, it goes right down to your project files. Just look at the app host configuration. What used to be this kind of cluttered mess of different references is now just one single, clean SDK reference. It might seem like a small detail, but trust me, it makes a huge difference. It keeps your brain focused on your app's logic, not on wrestling with project setup files.
Okay, this next feature is really cool. It's a new pattern they're calling container files, and it basically lets you orchestrate some really complex build pipelines without breaking a sweat. So here's a great example. Aspire can build your Vite front end inside its own container. Then it can reach into that container, pull out the finished static files, the dist folder, and inject them directly into your Python backend's container. The result? A super simple single service deployment with Aspire automatically handling that whole complicated build dance for you. All right, last but definitely not least, let's talk about deployment, because Aspire 13 is completely redefining what that looks like. The entire system has been torn down and rebuilt from scratch to be faster, smarter, and way more flexible.
So say hello to Aspire Do. This is the new engine that's going to power all of your build and deployment operations from now on. Now, instead of some big, mysterious, all-or-nothing command, Aspire Do treats deployment like a modern pipeline. Every single action, building a container, provisioning some cloud infrastructure, publishing your artifacts, it's all a transparent, composable step that you can actually see and control.
And believe me, this new architecture makes a world of difference. Think of the old deployment process like a slow, single-lane country road. Everything happened one after the other. Well, the new Aspire Do pipeline, that's a multi-lane superhighway. It's smart enough to understand the dependencies between all the steps, so it just runs everything it possibly can in parallel. The result is just dramatically faster deployment times and so much more control.
And another part of this smarter workflow? It gets rid of what I like to call prompt fatigue. You know what I'm talking about. Aspire will now securely save your deployment settings, things like your Azure subscription or your resource group, locally for each project. So yeah, it'll ask you the first time you deploy, but after that, every deployment is seamless. You're not going to be answering the same questions over and over again. It's a fantastic quality of life improvement. Okay, let's wrap this all up. What are the big takeaways here? What does Aspire 13 really mean for you? Well, first, it's now truly polyglot. You can build apps with .NET, Python, and JavaScript as equal partners. Second, you get a much simpler workflow, getting started in seconds with Aspire Init. Third, you can create powerful new patterns with things like container files. Fourth, your deployments are going to be way faster thanks to that parallel Aspire Do pipeline. And finally, there's great new tooling like the VS Code extension, bringing all this power right into your editor.
Look, Aspire 13 is a pretty fundamental shift. It's not just a tool for one ecosystem anymore, it's a smarter, faster, and way more versatile platform designed for the modern, multi-language cloud we all live in now. So the real question isn't just if you're ready to build your next polyglot app, it's what incredible things are you going to create now that you finally have the right tool for the job. Thanks for tuning in.